70 militia coming in. What hits do we get? We've got 4 hits, and I want to keep rolling, and until the 16 are gone, we're going to roll, and then we'll see what Jan and them are able to do. And I'm just going to track hits.
Hey, it's the Chief Bonding with Board Games and RPGs, and we're coming back in to Evil Twilight 2000. Now, last episode, the Fuse Last Stand. Full loss of control of that southwest portion of the wall. We've got 131, is it 131? 139 militia just fanning through that area with Marauder support from the Bartek crew. Standing between them and the main part of the base, the operations center, is the farm compound, which has kind of been erected and built as a compound within a compound. The farmers were, for good reason, a little bit distrustful of Krieg and the U.S. troops, but they took advantage of the security they could get as well. So, what's about to happen here are 2 things. We're going to have an unknown amount, not that full 139, because you got to imagine there's just a wave of untrained folks coming through. But I could see half of that number end up kind of landing on this farm compound. Not to mention the other subplot to this story is that Kanan Krieg had sent one of his Marauder leaders, Jan, and kind of his lieutenant, just a general Marauder that works for Krieg and Jan, to do a snatch and grab of a woman, a farm girl that lives in this compound that drew the attention of Kanan Krieg. He wanted her, and these guys are going to get her if they can. So the first thing I picture is, I don't think Jan and the Marauder would have any trouble getting to this farmhouse at all. They know the lay of the land. They know the location. So, are they set up and watching this farm compound kind of like from a position of observation? I actually think that's somewhat likely, which means 85. So if this is a no, it would mean for whatever reason they're either not there or they haven't seen it. Doesn't matter, I got an 11. 11 is an extreme yes, So I'm using the Mythic GM emulator. All right, boom, you can see a link down in the description. An extreme yes means that not only are they set up and observing this compound, but something even more is going on. What would be the more? We know there's inbound enemy Bartek militia headed this way. Is it simply that not only are they watching the compound, but they see this wave of militia? I think that is what they see. This is even probably what they need. So the farm compound, they were actually given weapons by Krieg and Major McGiffin to arm themselves, even given these buildings to make their own compound, because they were none too sure of the trust they could give out to the Americans. So they were able to build a little mini fort around their farm buildings, and they have their own military, U.S. military weapons to defend themselves. But they're not super trained either. Definitely would have been difficult for the Jan and his Marauder lieutenant to get in there. So I picture what they're seeing is this untrained battle going on between several of the Bartek militia and the compound. Now the farm compound, we had it roughly figured out that maybe they had 16 folks in this like extended farm family. So I think to stay abstract and see what goes on, I believe that a very large untrained force would have hit this compound. More than they can handle. We're going to see this battle of the farm compound through the eyes of Jan and his Marauder lieutenant, who are observing and trying to figure out, one, where's the farm woman they want to capture? And two, what are the defenses and how are they going to get in when at that point in time, again, these guys don't have a radio, they see a large force of about 70 kind of coming up and starting to engage in battles with this farm group compound where they're defending about 16. So I want to see how well does the farm hold. It won't hold indefinitely. It can't. It's going to fall to this larger force just from ammo running out or whatever. But what is the damage that the farm compound does to the militia that are in the wire?
70 militia coming in. What hits do we get? We've got 4 hits, and I want to keep rolling, and until the 16 are gone, we're going to roll, and then we'll see what Jan and them are able to do. And I'm just going to track hits. And I think what we'll do is give this untrained militia, since they're attacking a fortified position, at least well-armed, they'll be rolling 6-sided die. We've got 1 hit, and so all they've got to manage to do is get to 16, where the farm group has to get to 70. And I don't think that's going to be all that much fun to watch, so I may speed and cut some of this up as we go, but I did want to see it randomized. 4 hits again, and ooh, 1 more hit. So at this pace, it could be close. 4 hits again. No hits on that one. 2 hits by the farmhouse. No hits again. Wow. Woo, we got some hits on this one. Holy moly. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
They've taken out 20 as this battle's going on. Now let me drop back in. I don't think Jan and the Marauder would be able to sneak in at this point in time. They're probably going to have to wait until this battle resolves. The farm girl could even be in the fight, and we'll have to figure out, based on how many are taken out here, when do they come in? When do they join as if they're maybe even part of the Marauder group? Ooh, that's interesting. Because right now they've lost 2, so they're down to 14. At what point in time do they join and come in? I think they're going to do a couple more rounds, and then they're going to blend in as if they're Marauders themselves. And I think we'll do some stealth checks and see if they're able to kind of recon themselves in while blending in with the bad guys, and maybe get in there under the pretense of saving
the farm girl. All right, let's do 2 more rounds and see how this lays out. So first, how well does the farm compound, the farmers, do again? Ooh, 4 hits. Boy, they're rolling pretty darn good. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 down out of the 70. All right, any hits to the farmers? 1. They're just slowly just getting pecked down. All right, we're going to do this again, and then we're going to have Jan moving in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. So they've almost taken out half of this force that are coming in and trying to take over the farm compound. Do they get any hits on the farmers? 1 again, just trickle in.
Well, that means there's only 12 of them left. All right, so there's been some attrition. I think for the farmers, I'm going to pull out their 2-sided die, 6-sided die, and add them over to the Marauders, showing that they've lost some fire support. They're down to just 12. However, they're still operating with 35 troops, still an overwhelming number. All right, so Jan and the Marauder are going to come in, but they're going to be coming up as Marauders, which they are. They're Polish. I think they're going to fit in, and I don't even need to do a die roll of whether or not they're able to blend in with these Bartek groups coming in. The only thing I may do a yes/no for is, I think if there's Bartek Marauders, and there would be, you've got a total of 70 regular troops here, that would have meant there was 20 ish of the Marauders that were present, depending. A lot of them got killed down there by LeFew. But I want to know, first of all, I don't think I need a recon roll to see if they can blend in. They're Polish, they're Marauders. But I think it's very likely that they're able to pull off joining this attack. The Niznosians, I don't think, would be any the wiser. You might have a couple of Bartek's Marauders that would be like, you know, maybe they even knew Jan or something because of his prior criminal dealings. 77, we do have a double, so we're going to have a random event because our chaos factor is 7. So, and this is a yes, they are able to blend in, but that comes with a caveat of a random event. Now, because this could go to what's the event focus, I want to say that this is going to be a random event directly involving them, not an NPC or someone else. These are NPCs. I'm going to keep this simple. This random event is in regards to Jan and his Marauder. 51, overindulge. Okay. 58, overindulge, stalemate. Overindulge, stalemate. All right, what that tells me is that Jan comes in with his command personality that he has. He's been observing the battle. And I think it's really, you know, yeah, they're slowly ticking off some of the farm folks that are in there, but it has a bit of a stalemate action to it. So Jan is going to come in and start giving some particular orders. And I'm imagining from his position and his knowledge on the compound itself, the farm compound, he knows some weaknesses. And I think he probably grabs a group of 10 out of the 35 that are available. So Jan has taken 10 with him, and after, we're going to still do the rolls with the 25 that are left that are attacking and keeping the farmers pinned down. But this group of 10, Jan's been able to co-op them and bring them around to a weak spot, and he's going to use them as like his wedge to get into the farm compound. I like that.
So first, what is the damage done to the militia fighters that are still fighting this stalemate battle? Wow, ton of hits. Holy moly, all but 1-1. Wow. 10, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. Holy moly. So now it's getting interesting. You're down to 18 troops that are basically pinning these 12 down. Now, did that group get some hits on the farmers? No. They must be kind of dug in. That's interesting. Okay, so there's no hits. You still have 12 of this farming group, the adults, engaged in combat.
So here we come with Jan and his Marauder leading 10, and they've got them up in the front, and they're going to push through. It's a weak point. So I think the question is, yes, he knows how to come in. He's going to get in. He knows an area that they can get in. Are there a couple farmers that are going to be taking out at this point, or is it more of a stealth? So if it's a stealth, it's going to be a 2. They're going to get in. Or are they going to take out a couple farmers as they get in? That would be more of the ace. It's a 6, so we're actually on the low side, just below. So we're talking middle of the road. So middle of the road. I think middle of the road would be one of these farmers is present and taken out, but there's no stealth. The farmers are aware there's a breach. I think there's a yell, a cry, a warning that goes up, and in come these 10 Marauders with Jan and his lieutenant, pushing them in as a breach, which is a problem. Now, I think the first question is the farm girl, woman, she is an adult, is she one of the 5 that have already been killed? I think this is almost no way. I think she would have been back further out of the fighting, but being no way is a 35% chance. 35% chance. Even if it was impossible, it'd be 15. Let's go impossible. Yes, I'm weighting it toward that she's alive. I am weighting it toward that she's alive, but the dice will tell us. I think it's impossible that she was one of the ones killed. 41. So yes, she is alive, which means that Jan and the other marauder are just going to be looking for her. The way this battle evolves now is not going to be good for the farmers. There's 10 inside the wire. There's 18 out. They're down to the 11 that are still alive, but they've got troops in behind them now. So the question, I picture, how are we going to do Jan and his lieutenant moving? I think the first thing is Jan is leading the way, and we're going to do his recon skill. And yes, we're going to stay with Jan, who's got an A, 12-sided die, and a C, which will be an 8-sided die. They know the compound well, and Jan is even hoping that if he can come across the farm girl, that he can convince her to come to safety. It'll be a ruse. Whether or not he'll be able to pull that off or not, I don't know. But this is a question of, is he able to find her? An A and a C, we're looking for a success on this roll. He's got a 6 and a 1. So yes, there's no pushing this. He's found her. He's able to come in. I think there's a near gunfight because she's armed, but he's able to, hey, in Polish, it's Jan. The whole compound's been overrun. I've been sent to try to get as many of you farmers out of here as possible. So his persuade is a C, and his empathy is a C. So 2 8-sided die. Does she see through this? Is he able to pull off a persuade? Now he could push this, and if he fails, I think he can push it. If she fails, maybe she shoots at him. 2 3s. His persuade does not work. There's no 1s here, so I don't think she fires. Chaos ensues. With the failure, does he move and try to take her by force? He's not going to leave. All right, the farm girl is not willing to go peacefully with this group. So I believe the Marauder and Jan are both going to just try to grab her. I'm going to do close combat. Now, they're not trying to harm her, but we've got strength, C, close combat, C for Jan. 8-sided die. Is he successful in just grabbing onto her? Yes, he's got a 6. He grabs her, and I want to know, does the other Marauder, who's got a D and a C, whoops, a D and a C is a 6-sided die. So, no, but they're working in concert, and Jan is able to grab her. All right, the show's not safe for children, but I picture he just gets close enough and just clocks her, knocks her out, picks her up, throws her on his shoulder, and his whole excuse will be, she's wounded, I'm getting her to the hospital if he gets stopped.
So the battle continues to rage out in the compound. I first want to do another, what's going on over here? Are any more of these militia taken out? Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 more militia. There's only 12 on the overall attack, but there is problems still on the inside with the group. I want to see, what is the attacking group doing? Any 6s? Still no 6s. These guys are dug in well. Interesting. All right, no hits there.
Is Jan, is he confronted as he attempts to take the farm girl out of the compound? I think this is likely, which means a 90. I think it's likely he's going to be confronted. 50 even. So yes, he is confronted. I guess the question would be, is he confronted by the victim's spouse? Well, first of all, would he still be alive? Is the victim's spouse still alive? 75%, 50-50. Yes. Is he the one that confronts Jan? Feels like it. 75. 80. No. So it's not him. It's a different militia person that confronts Jan as he's got the girl over. So I think Jan is going to use his persuade again. He's got a CC, so we're going to use 2 8-sided die, and he's going to say, hey, she's wounded. I'm taking her to the hospital. Boy, all of a sudden, here's a marauder. Yeah, you know him, but what the heck's he doing here? I don't know if this would work. It works. So you've got a 7 and a 1. Wow. So the problem I think Jan has is he's been seen with her. I don't think he can let this guy live. And I think he's going to give a nod to his lieutenant and basically say, take this guy out. So the question would be, why do the persuade anyway? I guess the persuade would be to get close enough and get the person's guard down. I think they would have been up and like, hey, where are you going? And then, hey, she's wounded. I'm taking her to the hospital. Oh, okay. And as he comes down and relaxes, the other marauder is going to fire. So his ranged combat is C and C with his agility. But I think this surprise, I'm going to give him a 12 and an 8-sided die. A 12 and an 8-sided die. They've got the drop on them. It's the Marauder Lieutenant firing. No hit, which means this farm guy is going to be able to swing his gun up. I'm picturing 2 6-sided die, and he's going to immediately engage the lieutenant. And nothing. I picture, even over the shoulder, I think Jan has his M16. He can fire it one-handed. It'll be at a disadvantage, although M16s aren't that hard to fire at close range. I'm just telling you. We've got CC. I know there would be close combat, a minus because it's not a submachine gun. I call hooey on that, but that's all right. We're playing fast and loose with the rules here anyway. I think we'll just go with the CC, and that's 2 8-sided die. Maybe with the surprise, I'll do the exact same roll the other Marauder got. He's definitely not focused on Jan. Oh boy, 2 hits. And boom, he puts him down, meaning there's only 10 of these farm militia left anyway, and now there's no one left alive that knows Jan got the girl. And I think the girl counts as one too, so there's only 9 left. There is only 9 left versus the 10 that are in the wire and the chicken scratch of, I think, all right, so there's 28 total militia. Some are inside, and only 9 left of this farm group. Jan has made his escape with his Marauder. Is he able to get all the way back to the Niznosian hospital that Canaan Creek controls without being spotted? I'm going to say it's 50-50 because if he's spotted, it could lead to some potential problems in the future. 50-50, is he able? 21, he's able. Jan and the Marauder have the farm girl way back from like episode 4 or 5, and she is now secured in a secret location inside the hospital.
How does this battle play out? Well, we've got 28 against 9, and they're inside the wire. I think things are going to start changing drastically. I'm going to give a 12-sided die to the militia, and I think an 8-sided die. They're still going to roll their 6, and I want to see how do these 9 farmers go down. If they go down. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 24 left. Do any hits on the farm group? I think this farm group is going to get close to wiped out. 1. Just 1. We're going to keep this going, and I may speed this up just so you can see. 1, 2, 3. All right, I got a 12. Let's keep these separate. 21 militia. 8. Just 2 hits. There's now 6 farmers left. We go into another round. Woo! 2 2, 4, 5 hits. 16 militia. I think I'm going to peel the 6 off of this. We got 1. Wow, just 1 hit. 5 farm. I think they're losing a 6-sided die as well. Farmers. Woo! They are holding tough. This might get interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's only 10. 10 left. Peel a die off. All right, 10 left. They're all in the wire now. This is 10 on 5. This is a bitter fight down to the end. Uh-oh. Wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo!
Means they're down to 1. So here's the question. Is this last one the husband of the farm girl? Let's go 50-50, cast factor 7. 9. That's an extreme yes. So this tells me is not only is it the farmer, the farm girl's husband, oddly, who is the only other survivor, but he's captured. He is captured, so he's alive. The farm girl's husband is captured and alive. I love that it's an extreme yes, because that will be a future thread that continues this out. The farm girl's husband is captured and alive. Now, as far as he knows, the whole compound's been wiped out. You literally only have 10 militia in that group left, starting with 70. Now, that means there's still another 69 militia groups just from that compound or those bus unloads alone that are moving through. Not to mention way back when, what, the 2 little subgroups that got over, what is there, something like 6 of those or something that are moving through. And then we've got that breach to the south. All right, so the farm compound has fallen. The farm compound's fallen. Jan has managed with his lieutenant to get the farm girl and get her out of there, and he got her into the hospital unseen. However, her husband is still alive. He was captured. He is Polish. So the odds that this militia group would just kill him for no reason, I don't think they would. But he's alive. So that story may have legs of its own. We'll see where that goes. Woo!
All right, again, if you're enjoying the show, please like and subscribe. I know I've got to say give it a thumb and subscribe, but if I don't, it seems like my numbers were coming down, and for me to continue doing this, I'm enjoying it. I'm going to be honest with you, I'll probably keep doing it anyway, but I want to do some other role-playing games. So what will happen is I'll be experiencing or trying out different role-playing games, and kind of whichever one's getting the most traction on my channel will be the one I'll come back and do another season of. Now, this hasn't wound down yet. I said I would totally wrap up this assault on the compound. I don't know if the Krieg's going to be fleeing U.S. troops, or if they're going to be able to kind of battle back, and then they'll have just a small group and hold the compound, but the farm is gone. It's over. Krieg, in his evil ways, has managed to capture the girl that caught his eye early on. So the notch of badness is rising. However, we got more action. So stay tuned, more episodes to come, and thanks for tagging along with Bollywood board games and RPGs. Yes, it's a big, long name, and I'll try not to add anything else to it. I won't get into miniatures. That would be if I added that in there, maybe. All right, see you guys. Bye.